The meal lines stretched across Camp Hawthorne's yard, boots grinding the dry dirt under the blazing heat. Jokes were sharper than usual. Private First Class Emily Parker stood silently in line, sleeves rolled above her wrists. That was enough. A squad behind her spotted the butterfly tattoo on her forearm. What's she gonna do, flutter at the enemy? One cracked, and laughter rippled. Emily didn't flinch. She stared straight ahead, tray steady in her hands. They thought they knew her. They did not. At 28, Emily served in logistics, not combat. Her days meant clipboards, manifests, and endless supply reports. She ensured the troops had gear to fight, rising early to polish boots, clean her bunk, and file paperwork with precision. She never snapped, never cut corners. She found lost packages before anyone noticed they were missing. Still, most infantrymen dismissed her. To them, she was a supply clerk, not a soldier. They mocked her tattoo often. A butterfly didn't belong beside fatigues and dog tags. Spring break ink, some sneered. Flap your wings at the Taliban. Yet Emily never hid it. She rolled her sleeves high so the design was always visible, never explaining why. The ridicule followed her everywhere. In formation, a platoon sergeant once grabbed her wrist, holding the tattoo up for all to see. Parker here thinks she's at a butterfly garden. That your spirit animal? The ranks roared with laughter. Emily stood stone still, jaw clenched, eyes ahead at the motor pool. 2 soldiers bet she couldn't load a truck without breaking a nail. She walked past, clipboard-tight eyes, betraying a flicker of fire in the Humvee's mirror, before softening again. In the chow hall, when a tray slipped from her hands, metal clattered and food scattered across the tiles. Gears and applause echoed. She cleaned the mess alone, refusing pity, and ate in silence at a corner table. Her routine became isolation, working late at the supply desk. The glow of her lamp spilling over neat stacks of unmailed letters. No one knew who she wrote to. No one asked. But things shifted when a Navy SEAL detachment rotated through Camp Hawthorne. Hardened men stepped off their convoy, eyes sharp. They noticed everything, including Emily's silent endurance and the butterfly on her arm. They didn't laugh. They studied. From that day, she wasn't invisible. She was observed. Hints of her hidden past slipped out. One night, a private glimpsed a photo inside her locker soldier's shoulder in the desert, his faces blurred except for a partially visible patch familiar to special operations. Emily closed the door before he could see more. Another night, under motor pool floodlights, a SEAL noticed faint numbers woven into the butterfly tattoo. Coordinates, digits, something encoded. He didn't speak, but his expression shifted. Emily tugged her sleeve down. Then came the warehouse incident. A shipment of new rifles arrived, crates unopened. Emily rattled off each model and wait before the armorers had pried the lids. "How the hell do you know that?" one asked. "It's on the manifest," she said. Though the paperwork hadn't been touched, rumors spread. Her silence hid more than timidity. The truth cracked open during an inspection. A lieutenant, testing her, handed Emily an M4. "Paperwork girl, show us what you know." Whispers rose. This wasn't fair, but Emily didn't argue. She blindfolded herself with a strip of cloth and disassembled the rifle flawlessly. Piece by piece, faster than most combat troops. In under 2 minutes, it lay bare on the table. She reassembled it just as fast, the final click echoing in the stunned motor pool. "How the hell do you know that?" someone demanded. Emily quietly picked up her clipboard. "It's all in the manual," but everyone knew better. The cracks were widening. Dawn brought another SEAL convoy. Their commander, a seasoned man, led the line. Emily, as always, stood to the side with a clipboard, sleeves rolled high. He scanned the yard, froze, and locked on the butterfly. His steps slowed. The SEALs halted. Silence spread. Emily looked up, startled. The commander raised his hand in a crisp salute. The yard stilled, confusion rippling. "Why's he saluting a clerk?" whispered someone. "You're still with us, Parker." His voice carried low. She gave the smallest nod, The salute froze the yard. Soldiers stared in silence. Emily, clipboard pressed to her chest, gave a calm return salute. The commander's voice cut through the heat. Do you think she's just a clerk? Do you think that tattoo is a joke? No one answered. We were trapped in a valley most of you will never hear about. Outnumbered. Minutes from being wiped out. The only reason I'm here, the only reason any of us made it home was her. He pointed at Emily. She wasn't holding a rifle. But the information she broke, the call she made, saved my men. Murmurs died instantly. The mocking soldiers shifted uncomfortably. The commander raised his hand again. One by one, his seals mirrored him. Then the officers. Then the very men who had laughed at her. Boots snapped together. Dozens of salutes filled the air, sharp and unbroken. Emily's throat tightened, but she kept steady. She returned the salute, her calm presence commanding more than any words could. The butterfly ink, once mocked, was now a symbol of sacrifice. The SEAL leader lowered his hand. His tone softened. Parker, you deserve more than silence. They should know who stands among them. Emily shook her head. Sir, I'm only doing my job. No speech. No claim to honor. Just the same quiet discipline she always carried. From that day, no one mocked her tattoo. Soldiers stood straighter when she passed. Rumors spread of her past an intelligence officer on a mission so secret that records barely existed. Survivors carried her emblem in silence. That butterfly wasn't decoration. It was a mark of life saved in a valley where death had almost swallowed them. Respect followed her now. But Emily never sought it. She never corrected the stories, never revealed details. She worked late as always, boots shining, paperwork perfect, letters still unwritten but stacked in neat piles. At Camp Hawthorne, Emily Parker became a legend. Not because she wanted it, but because those who once ridiculed her learned a truth they could never forget. Strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's silent, humble, and carved deep in scars no one sees. The butterfly stayed inked on her arm. And from then on, no one laughed. Respect the quiet ones. Their silence often carries the loudest victories. Subscribe for more untold stories of real heroes.